This is Andrew Rock reporting from in front of Queen's Park, where today a group has gathered to protest the devastation in Grassy Narrows. The Grassy Narrows First Nation is an Anishinaabe community in northwestern Ontario, and the demonstration held on September 18th was, they say, an opportunity for people across Ontario to come together in support of their struggle with mercury poisoning and their effort to force the Ontario and federal governments to clean up the Grassy Narrows river system. The demonstration began with a rally at Toronto's Grange Park and then transitioned to a march to Queen's Park.
I'm a mother and I'm a grandmother, and I started this fight, as a youth, and now I'm a grandmother, and I'm still here, having to be vocal for them, and it shouldn't be that way, it's already over 50 years, and there's still no justice for my community.
The Grassy Narrows river system was contaminated through the 1960s with 9,000 kilograms of mercury, which leaked into the Wabigoon River from the Dryden Chemicals pulp and paper mill. The mill was ordered to stop the leaks in 1970 by the Ontario government. After the initial contamination, the mercury was absorbed by fish, which the Ontario government of the time said were safe to eat. The fish are a staple food for the Grassy Narrows First Nation, and it's estimated that upwards of 90% of its community members suffer from the long-term effects of mercury poisoning. Protesters believe more should be done for the Grassy Narrows community.
We're such a rich nation, but we don't take care of each other in the way that we could.
The federal and provincial governments claim that there has been a decades-long effort to clean up the river system and have pointed to a Government of Canada plan to build a mercury care home specifically designed to offer respite or supported living for those suffering from the long-term effects of mercury poisoning in the community. But despite the reassurances from different levels of government, the Grassy Narrows First Nation community continues to see poor health outcomes for its members.
In the springtime, it was announced, that they're still dumping chemicals into the river that's making the poison even more lethal.
She's referring to the outcome of a Western University study which found that methylmercury was present in the Grassy Narrows river system. Methylmercury is the most poisonous form of mercury. It's a substance that occurs when mercury is exposed to high levels of sulfate and organic bacteria that can be found in the river.
Like, we're getting a mercury home, and there was funds for a river cleanup, but that's how we found out that that they're still dumping poison in the river.
Those that spoke at the protest included Salma Makwa, as well as the chief of Grassy Narrows and several of its community members. The list of Grassy Narrows demands include fair compensation for harms caused by the mercury, as well as an end to the industrial threats causing harm to the health of the land and people of Grassy Narrows, and support in repairing and restoring Grassy Narrows from the harms done by mercury. And a personal request went out to decision makers.
Whoever has that power, that we need that mill shut down, and that we need our people to be compensated, because we've been robbed, our way of life, and we've been robbed of our own lives.
We reached out to both the federal and Ontario provincial governments for comment, but didn't hear back by the time of publication. In front of Queen's Park for the Toronto Observer, this is Andrew Rock.